Hello guys and welcome to a brand new video. Today I'm here with Mushoku Tensei Season 2 episode number 22 reaction. So the previous episode we were able to save Roxy and at first Roxy didn't recognize Rudy, which makes sense. Obviously it's been a long time. And then when she realizes it's Rudy, she's like, wow, I wasn't expecting you to become this big. And you can see that Roxy probably is likes Rudy now. It seems like she's like blushing all the time and everything. And while Rudy is obviously oblivious to it, he's just like, oh, master, how he like respects Roxy and everything. So then we wait for a bit and then we delve back into the dungeon again, and this time we go a long way, finally coming across a room where there's like multiple teleporters, but Rudy later on realizes that all of them are traps. The real one was underneath, and now I'm guessing we will be finding the dungeon boss now. So let's see what happens. Also, there was a crazy scene in the previous episode where Paul was like talking about swords, and I was like, what the hell? Obviously he's talking about like both his wives and stuff. That was his way of telling Rudy about Roxy's attraction for him. Rudy obviously didn't understand what he was trying to say, and obviously Rudy's oblivious to the whole situation. Roxy doesn't know that he's married. It's a full-on mess basically. But obviously first things first, we need to save Zenith, and I'm guessing we'll have all these conversations later. But first and foremost, we have to save Zenith, so let's see what happens today. Episode number 22, let's get started. I'll be putting the subtitles and the timer here, sync it to whichever is your preference, and let's begin. Wait a minute, this was episode 22, wasn't it? Yeah, okay, so let's get started. Alright, here's the countdown. 3, 2, 1, go. The fact that it's the teleporter is red probably indicates that it's a final boss. Oh yeah. Oh god, I feel like okay. What are these? What is these? Are these death flags? Yeah. What's happening? He's been triggering death flags left, right, center from the previous episode. Oh god. Like he's like, oh, I have something to tell you before we do. And Rudy was like Rhea, like these are like, don't say stuff like this before like something so dangerous. That's always like like death flags. Oh god. Bro, I'm actually not like I feel like something's gonna happen today. Like what is like in the previous episode as well, he was talking about like oh, like I have something to talk to you about later when we go back home. Again, another death flag. Here today now he's just like, oh god. And it's pretty obvious what we will be fighting. This thing from the opening, we can literally see it. Okay, here we are. Oh yeah, this is the final boss room. Look at this place. Oh god. Oh, it's a Hydra. Wait, can Hydra even stay in the? Isn't Hydra? Doesn't Hydra stay in water? It's like in the middle of a. Oh, there she is, Zenith. Oh my ball! Oh god. Oh no, even Rudy's stone cannon didn't do anything. Okay, we got one head. Wait, don't their heads regenerate or something? Damn. Okay, we got two. God damn. Nice. Oh, it's too tough. Yeah, and Paul can just slash through it. Okay, so you cannot use magic on him. Yep. That's why Rudy's stone thing didn't work. Okay. Yep, I knew it. Hydras regenerate. Like I said, I remembered that. Like even I think like you have to like cut all the heads or something. Like one by one, it won't work. Yeah. Okay. Move. Yeah. Okay. Nice. Yeah. Oh no, it won't work. It won't work. I feel like. Oh no, no, it's okay. Okay, okay. For a moment, I was thinking they won't be able to go before they defeat the monster or something. You know, sometimes that happens. Like boss rooms. Yeah. I'm sure she is. Otherwise, why would she be like that? In like frozen like that. Yeah, like really, Paul. That is the point, Paul. You're not getting it. If you want to save her, you need to be calm. That's true, I guess. Like losing your cool won't do anything. It'll impede your. Yeah. And then that whole shield thing that like magic don't work on it. Mm. Yeah. Okay. Oh, okay. Like, can a hydrate stay in, like, without any water? I don't know. Manatite Hydra. Oh, that's why magic was not working. Magic won't work. Damn. Oh. We need to take out all the heads at the same time or something, I think. Oh. Okay. Ah. Oh, I didn't know that. Burn the cuts with a torch so it wouldn't heal. Hmm. But that's okay. Then we have to cut it and burn it. Yeah, also, like, I'm guessing Paul's, yeah, sword was. If we can't. Hmm. What? Oh, yeah. I guess that's why he said, like, it's not something a parent would say. Hmm. It just went back to sleep. It's like, ah, right. Oh boy. Here we go. Like, it's weird. It's as if, like, it's like protecting, not protecting, but guarding Zenith or something. Like, okay, that's one. Nice. Oh yeah, we need to go close. Okay. And obviously Rudy can see the future, so it'll also help him. Okay. Knife. Point blank. Oh, yeah, okay, another one. Okay. Okay, okay. Three. Okay, three done. Oh god. Oh god. Heal. Yeah. Oh my god. This is scary, man. Like, just like point blank range. Okay, was that four? Oh my god. Yo. It's like some. This is like some Dark Soul boss or something. Wait, how many heads did we get? Oh my god, it's whipping its tail out now. No, no, what's. Oh my god, this thing is smart! It should have. What the. Oh my god, that is absolutely ridiculous. Oh god. Wait, what's happening? Is that. Oh god. Okay, three more heads left. That means. It's like a water shield he made. Damn! Okay. Again, yeah. Okay, don't let it time to. Okay, two more after this. Right? Two more. Okay, one more. The last one. Oh my god! Come on, the last one. Oh! Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. What happened? Oh my god, his hand got stuck. Where's Paul? Oh my god, they're not showing Paul. Oh no. They're not showing Paul still. Where is he? Oh, his hands got. Oh. Oh wait, his hand didn't completely grow back? Wait, so he lost his hand now? Oh, where's Paul? They're not showing him. Oh lord, yeah. Paul is. Oh god. Well, they were hinting this from the previous episode. Oh no. Yeah, oh god. Oh. Oh my god. Oh no. Oh no, man. What the hell? Oh god. Oh my god. God damn it. Obviously, she's like, where's Paul? Oh. Oh. Oh no, she doesn't remember. Great. Okay. What else? She doesn't remember. You can see from her expression. Wait, what? Oh my, this is even worse than I thought. What? What's happening? She lost her ability to speak or something? Or did she like what's that called? Infantize or something? Like when you becomes like when your mental age becomes what's that word? Infantile or something like that. When your mental age becomes uh, like becomes small compared, like contrary to your like original age. Either she lost her ability to speak, or she like infantized. I think that's what it's called. Where she's like making noises like like a little kid. Oh god, this okay, this like I knew that something like this was going to happen. Like they were just dropping death flags left right from the previous episode. Like the previous episode, it was at least like 2 to 3 death flags. Today, at the very end, like before they went there was like a huge one. And I'm like, yeah, are they indicating that something's going to happen to Paul? Like, yeah, that's exactly what happened. Oh my god. And it's just like it's crazy how like it just happened. Like it just happened just like that. And like what can I say? Like it was like a few minutes of that, and that's just it. It's like usually um like in animes, like deaths and death scenes, they're usually kind of like elongated. Like like someone dies, it takes a long time for them, then like that whole thing happened. This just happened. It was just like a second, which I feel like which makes it even more like, I don't know, brutal. Like it's way more realistic, because that's what usually death is. It just happens. It's like life is not an anime. It doesn't like like let you go through the whole process. It just happens like a uh, like a just that, like a moment, and then it's over. And that's literally what happened. It was just one moment, and then we see Paul just there, and that's it. There was no last words or nothing. It was just it. That's it. And oh god, like, and not only that, in the end, like as we can see, like Zenith wakes up, and now Zenith, we don't know what exactly happened to her, but there was like a, like, even after all of that, after seeing Zenith wake up, Rudy was at least a little bit like got back his like light in his eyes. And then this happened, and she's like, something's going on with her. Right. And yeah, okay, I just god damn it, like what in the right. Okay, so yeah, that was today's episode. So let me talk about this episode now. A few things to talk. The first thing was obviously them going to confront the Hydra. And you can see the Hydra is obviously very strong. It has a lot of things that kind of like acted as obstacles towards our party. For example, we cannot use magic. The magic wasn't working. Like normal like sword and like people attacking is not really doing anything. So Paul has to cut it off. It's regenerating immediately, and and it has a lot of heads. So these were like the problems, the obstacles we had to face. And you can see obviously like Paul, as he says later on, that I'm just an idiot. I just barge in. I don't think anything. That's just what I do. So like thank you for being able to properly think of a plan. And like, because in the end everyone sat down and they thought of a plan. Paul was just like, oh, let's go in, let's do this, like kind of like that. but it's not going to work like that. As they said, like, like losing your cool now is not going to help. It's going to make the situation even worse. Up until now we have come through such a journey to save Zenith, and now just losing your cool is going to completely nullify all of that, and we lose everything. So yeah, that whole thing. And in the end, the plan was basically to go in, shoot it, cut off the head, shoot it with flame point blank range, and sear off the, is that what it's called, sear? Like kind of seal the part, like burn it shut. And that's how we're going to do it. And obviously after we defeat all the heads, it's over, it's going to die. But that in itself was such a tough job. Like, like obviously, like the whole thing that happened, Paul's death and everything, all that aside, I have to applaud them for the absolutely amazing fight sequence. I really felt the danger. Like, I feel like this is something that a lot of animes are not able to do nowadays. Like they're just like, oh, fighting a monster, haha, go in there with our swords out, use some crazy flashy magic and some crazy techniques, bam, we defeat an enemy, it's over, that kind of thing. And I genuinely felt afraid for them, for their safety. Like, it genuinely felt like you're like fighting a towering huge monster trying to attack you. Like I said, it felt like you're playing like a Dark Souls video game. Like the towering huge, like or like that type of a video game, where those types of video games where there's like towering huge monsters, and you're just there, and the monster is like giving you one smack, and that one smack is enough to like almost half kill you, that kind of thing, and you have to dodge. You have to dodge like crazy. You have to be ready with your healing potions. Once you get hit once, immediate healing potion, otherwise if you get hit another time you'll die, literally. Like, that's what was happening. Just getting hit, Roxy was running from one corner to the other corner healing everyone, because if they get hit another time, it's over if you don't heal them. So I applaud them. I don't know about you guys, but I loved this fight sequence. I feel like this was one of the absolute masterpieces of like the way, like, I genuinely felt like afraid for them. And the monster really felt like a monster. It really seemed as if it's going to kill us. Like the way it was like using its heads to come towards you, and the way they were frantically dodging, like literally like running from one place to another, jumping around, rolling, dodging for their life. Like, they know that they cannot like use their shield to defend against them. Only Enilenis could probably do it, because she's a tank as far as I can understand. And that too at an angle. You can see Enilenis never takes the damage directly. She always does it through an angle to kind of just like move the direction of the force. I don't think she can take the damage frontal. In no way can she take it. It's that strong. So you can always see she's like through the side, she's pushing it away like this. Like she's not getting the full force. Like that's how she's maneuvering her. Like, the way she's tanking is doing it like that. And that's why she was getting hurt now and then, because she wasn't directly tanking front. She was tanking to the side and like moving around and properly, managing the direction so that she and her teammates doesn't get properly hurt. So like it genuinely seemed like such a dangerous monster. Like the way it was like jumping around with his head, just attacking you, and you can see like one person gets hurt. And I remember like Talhand also got like almost eaten, and Paul came and like cut off the head, and Roxy was like running from one side to another with healing spells, like healing immediately. That's why I'm saying this genuinely felt like a actual like a dangerous fight. Like you could genuinely feel the danger in this. It's not like your attacks are not working and all that. It's just that the enemy is so strong that it can literally strip you off your defense with one shot. It's just, it's just going to be over like that. No, so I really enjoyed this battle. It was absolutely amazing. Like I think they deserve like a round of applause for that. Like top notch. Yeah. Um, then obviously after all of that, obviously the whole situation with Paul and also Rudy lost his hand, as you can see. So I'm guessing he won't be able to get back his hand. He's like you think like he was able to bring back a little bit of his hand, but that's it. So I'm guessing he'll have to like wear prosthetics or something maybe from here onwards. But yeah, that was it. And he was like, yeah, like it's fine. Like losing one hand, it's okay. Obviously, at that point of time, he didn't realize that Paul was that what happened to Paul. So he was like, okay, fighting a Hydra, this is the least we can go through. Losing a hand, it's fine. But then he realizes that Paul is just, yeah. And oh my god, the way they like it's absolutely horrifying the way they showed like Paul, like half, like the lower half of his body is gone, just gone. And the way he was just sprawled on the ground like that. Oh, like I feel like this episode felt too real. Like I feel like that is where this was just, what can I say? Like they did an absolutely great job. Like they made this episode feel too realistic. Like, and I feel like this is exactly what's going to happen if you fight a huge monster like that. You'll be scurrying around the whole room like rats, trying to just get away from one of the attacks. You know, and you get hit once, it's over for you. And that's literally what happened with Paul. Paul tried to like cover for Rudy, like pushed him aside, and the dragon, not dragon, sorry, the Hydra came and just attacked him, and that's it. One shot, half of his body is gone. That's it. And I'm pretty sure no amount of healing spell could heal him. Like, and even immediately, if you used healing spell on him, it couldn't probably heal him because half of his body is just gone. Like, how can you even heal that? Not possible, unless and until you have like resurrection magic or something, and which I don't think it exists here. I doubt like in Mushoku Tensei resurrection magic exists. Like I haven't really seen anything like that here, but yeah, it's over. Like one shot, it's gone. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, and that was, oh god, that was today's episode. Okay, one thing I want to talk about before, um, like when Paul was talking to Rudy, like when Rudy was like so calm, and Paul was like, "Oh, he's a mother. Like, how are you so calm like this?" Like Rudy kind of says that it's because she isn't like, even though she is my mother, for me she is like a stranger. I just knew her for like 7 years, and then she suddenly left. Like she wasn't there, and that was just it. And which is, I guess it kind of makes sense, obviously, because he is a 40-year-old man, or was he 30? I don't remember how old he was when he got isekai'd. When he got isekai'd, he was a middle-aged man, you know and even though he is in a child, for him, he remembers everything from his past and everything. For him, Zenith is just a lady similar to his age, which is crazy because Zenith was, when he was born, Zenith, I'm sure Zenith was probably younger than Rudy, wasn't it? I'm not really sure. I don't remember Rudy's age when he was isekai. I think it was like 35 or 40 or something like that. If that was the case, I'm pretty sure Zenith was way younger than Rudy when he was born. So he was older than his mother in this world, basically, when he got isekai here. So for him, Zenith was just a lady, you know. So like that is why he, like, the amount of, I guess you could say, attachment for him. And as he says, it's not as if they lived together for long as well. For 7 years they lived, and then he went off to Eris to tutor her, and all that stuff happened, and then they never met after that. So that is why he says, like, I cannot really get that attachment, that feeling, so maybe that is why I can stay so calm. Yeah, which I can understand, obviously, because yeah, like, it's not as if like he is with Zenith from a very young age or something. From his childhood, he was a middle-aged man when he met Zenith in a new world. So yeah, in that sense, that's why. But obviously that doesn't mean that Rudy doesn't care or anything. Yeah, he definitely cares, but he could keep his cool a lot more. And not only this type of situation, I feel like in a lot of the situations, like Rudy is able to keep cool, which comes from his ability, I guess you could say, to adapt. If you remember, obviously everyone remembers, Rudy obviously was, like in his real world, he wasn't in a good situation. He was bullied and he was like, a lot of things happened. We saw all of that. So I feel like that probably makes his tolerance to a lot of things, and his, like his personality, his attitude of, kind of bearing everything and smiling at it. If you remember, he himself has said, I have a bad habit of smiling whenever I'm in a bad situation, which came from his bullying in the real world. When he used to get bullied, he used to smile like that as well, trying to, like stop the whole thing, trying to act as if nothing is wrong. But obviously, the bullying escalated more and more, and we saw what has happened. So all of these comes from his real life, his ability to try to adapt to everything, not showing his true feelings, smiling in times of danger and these type of situations, trying to keep a cool head and logically thinking about stuff, because that's what happened always to him in the real world. He always had to think logically, even if he was being he was being hit, he was being bullied, he had to always try to think how to get out of this situation. But it never really worked. By the end of it, he still got bullied, so this is like literally his, like his personality. So even though, like, like even if like that is also a reason, like, Zenith isn't really his mother, it's just a stranger to him, who he just spent like 7 years with. At that point, she's not a stranger anymore, but still, she's more or less, she's like a friend to him, you know not like a attachment as of a parent and child, but more as a attachment to like a family member, that kind of thing, you know so obviously that is one reason why he's so calm. But another reason, like I said, I think that's also another reason, because this is literally how he is. His, like, this is how he is, and this is how he had to adapt to everything in the real world as well, because of the whole bullying situation. That's why he's like this. In situations like this, he tries to keep his cool and tries to logically think of stuff. And like, that is how people might say that, oh, you're emotionally detached to stuff. For example, as Paul was like, how can you act like this, she's a mother, so yeah. But it's just how he is. Obviously that doesn't mean he's not concerned about the situation, he's just hiding it well. He's also concerned about the situation, he just hides it well. So that's basically what it is. Yeah, so right. And yeah, and that was today's episode. Like, these were the few things that I wanted to talk about, and obviously the rest of the stuff for the battle, and obviously the final part with the whole, yeah. So now I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know what's going to happen with Zenith. Obviously, I'm guessing we'll be going back home. Then what will, like, I'm guessing we'll probably have to, like, take her to the doctor or something, like maybe see how we take care of this. We don't even know what's going on with her, because she seemed like there's a few things, like, and I feel like there's either a few things going on. At first I thought like she lost her memory because she was acting like that, and then when she started talking, I'm like, wait a minute, this isn't merely losing her memories, this is something else. And yeah, either she infantized, I think that's what it's called, when your mental age kind of like regresses, like contrary to your, like, physical age. Either that, because she's like making baby noises, either that, or she cannot speak. If it's just that she cannot speak, then I feel like that's way better than infantile. I feel like it's the latter. Her mental age probably went down, because the way the expressions that she was making as well, it seemed like she was just a kid who is like, who's just seeing this world for the first time or something. Like, that's what's going on, I think. So let's wait and see what happens. Yeah, and I'm guessing we'll be going back now. What a crap way to go back. Just, with the whole thing, your father, this happened, this whole thing that happened with Paul, the whole thing that happened with Zenith. And there's also a lot of questions we have as well. Why was Zenith here? Why was she stuck in this, like, weird type of crystal? Why was even the Hydra, like, it's as if like the Hydra was like standing guards in front of it or something, like, Like, why was that what was up with that as well? A lot of questions, which I'm guessing we'll get to know little by little. And we still don't know what happened with Zen after she got teleported. How did she end up in this situation? That also we don't know. So you know what? Let's wait and see. I doubt all of these will be revealed in this season. It'll probably be next season or the season after that. But yeah, let's see. So yeah, so basically what happened, we to save one person, we lost one person. It's like, that's just what happened. Hmm. Okay, now that was that. Now let me talk about this episode scene by scene. In the first scene, we get to see, like Rudy, Roxy, Paul's, and like Alien is, everyone is just going into who's going to step into the teleporter, and Rudy takes a few healing scrolls from Roxy, and then Paul is like, Rudy, like I have to. Okay, he says, I hate to say, given in this situation you're in, and then Rudy's like, okay, then don't say it, because obviously, like these type of situations, you don't talk about these type of things. That's a dead flag. And I like, this was like the biggest one. I was like what the hell is going on? Like, they're going to step on the teleporter, and Paul is saying stuff like this. So I'm like, oh my god, this yeah, they're definitely indicating that something's going to be happening today. And yeah, and then like they step into the teleporter, and we come to this place. Obviously this seems like a lost boss room, a huge room with a hydra just sitting there. Now they call it like a manasite hydra or something like that. I don't remember exact name what they called it. So like, what are these, like, I knew that hydras are only like water creatures, so I'm guessing this is like a different type of thing which just stays in a dungeon like this. Because that's what I knew. Like, hydras are like water creature with 8 heads or something. And obviously, I knew about the fact that if you cut one head of the hydra, it just regenerates. So you have to like cut everything. I didn't know about the whole Heracles legend though. That I didn't know about. Like, which Rudy told, and which I was like, okay, that was pretty interesting. So cut off the hair and like burn it and seal it. Anyways, they come and they confront the hydra, and as soon as Paul sees that Zenith is behind them, trapped in a in the crystal or whatever that was, Paul immediately loses all control. She just goes forward. Eleanor is like also follows him, because obviously she has to act as a tank. She is the tank of the group. Rudy and Roxy uses their spells. None of them works. It's as if like some kind of a barrier like appears. And I was like, damn, even Rudy's like stone bullet or bowl, whatever it's called, it didn't work, because that's one of the strongest ones. You know. So yeah, like, so they're like, okay, this is not good. But Paul goes in and cuts off one of the Hydra's head, and this kind of shows that how strong Paul is, because nobody could do anything to the Hydra, but Paul was able to cut off the head. You know. And obviously you could see that Elenice tried to cut off the head as well, but it didn't work. Obviously the reason behind it is I feel like Elenice is more so a tank. Her defense is high, she can defend. Yeah, she can use a sword as well, but that doesn't mean that it will work in certain situations. While Paul is definitely a DPS. He's more of the damage dealer. So that is why most of his power is dealing damage. So that's why probably he was the only one which could work. Yeah, Rudy and Roxy's attacks probably would have worked as well, because they are also DPSs through their magic. They're mages as well. But the problem here was that their magic were getting like blocked by that whole barrier thing. So the only one who can do something in this situation is Paul, because I think Talhan was also more of a tank, wasn't he? I think so. Or a buffer, either a tank or a buffer, something like that he was. And I think Geese was more of a like a rogue or a thief kind of profession. I think something like that, like a rogue, like that type of profession, I think. So either way, they start their battle, and they can see that it's a bit tricky, because Paul cuts off one of his head, but his head just regenerates. And yeah, in the end, like when Paul is like just going forward, Geese is like, no, we have to stop him. So Geese uses some smoke bombs, stops Paul, and they're like, let's get out of here. And Rudy uses like some kind of a spell to stop it and moves out of the room. So after that, Rudy heals Selena Lee's and goes and talks to Paul. And Rudy says, like, do we even, like, is she even alive, like. And Paul is like, what the hell is wrong with you, like, that's your mother, you know and he's like, like you're too calm, how can you be so calm? And Rudy says, like, will losing my temper solve anything? Like, like, it's not going to help anything any out, you're just going to end up killed. So to get out of the situation, you need to be more cool. And Paul obviously grumbles around, and like, here is, like I said, I discussed about this whole like section. So yeah, like Rudy's like way of thinking is like, obviously, for me, Zenith is just a lady, who happens to be my mother. But I was like a middle-aged man when I got isekai here, so I didn't have that type of connection with her. For me, she was just a lady that I stayed with for 7 years, and then I went on my way, and I've never seen her before. So maybe that's why my, like, my urgency, maybe that's why I'm so calm. And like I said, I think that's obviously one of the reasons, but another reason is probably because of Rudy's whole personality of trying to hide his feelings and emotions. Because how he was bullied back in the real world. So he always tries to, try to stay calm and try to hide his feelings. Even if he's feeling agitated, he tries to cool down and think logically about situations, because that's what he did back in the real world to try to save himself from the constant bullying, you know, that kind of thing. And yeah, so either way, so like here Geese calms down. Geese is like, come on, don't do this here, like, these type of like familial fighting, you can do it when you go back. So Paul sits down, and then they start making like a plan what to do about it. So Roxy's like, I think I can do something about the crystal, which is interesting because in the end you can see we don't really have to do anything about the crystal as well. Yeah, after we defeat the Hydra, the crystal breaks on its own. So Roxy didn't even have to do anything. So so Roxy's like, I can do something about the crystal, and then they're like, okay, but then what? Like, how do we take care of the regeneration? And what about that whole barrier? And Roxy says, I've read about them in the books. These are like, this is a devil dragon covered in scales that absorb mana. I thought it was a fairy tale. Yeah. So Rudy's like, well, then what should we do? So we have to go and deal damage point blank. If magic needs to work, that's the only way it'll work. But then they're like, okay, but then what about the regeneration? At which Rudy's like, I think I know what we can do about it. We cut off the head and just use flame to like seal the whole thing. And here Rudy's like, in his head, he's thinking about the Greek myth about the Heracles and the Hydra. Like I said, I didn't know about this legend. I think I'm guessing it's one of the 12 labors, isn't it? Like Heracles had to go through one of the 12 labors. It was probably one of them. So yeah, so he's like, that is where he got this idea from. And then like, they're like, all right, so that is the plan. So let's do it. And then in the end, Paul is like Roxy, Geese, Elena Lee, Stalhand, all of you, thank you. Now the reason why he doesn't bring up Rudy's name here is because obviously he's family. He doesn't need to specifically bring his name up as well and thank Rudy for the help, because he's family. Obviously he is going to do this, so that's why he's not stranger. He doesn't bring up Rudy's name here, but helps thanks all the others for helping. And then he's like lend your help to me. And then in the end he addresses Rudy, and he says like, Rudy, like, I'm not good, like I'm not good enough. Like, I always do these type of things just to jump into the danger without thinking anything. And I don't have a cool head like you, so you're way better than me in this type of situation. So like, please help, help us out. Like, let's help your mother out together. And in the end he says like, I'm going to say something that no parent should ever say, which is, save your mother, even if you have to use your life. And Rudy's like, yeah. So they go in again, and the battle begins again. So at the beginning, it goes pretty smoothly. Basically, like the whole way the whole thing like plays out. The whole rotation was that Paul and Rudy will be going forward. Elise will be going forward. When the Hadra is going to attack, Elise will tank, taking that opportunity. Paul is going to cut off one of the heads. Rudy, who will be just behind him, will be using flame to seal the wound so that it doesn't regenerate back. Just in case someone gets hurt, Roxy will be there providing healing, to all of them, just in case something happens. And I'm guessing Talhan and Geese will be providing support when they can from the sidelines. Like that was like the main plan, which was pretty damn good. It was going pretty smoothly at the very beginning. Like Elise was tanking. Paul cuts off one of the heads. Rudy seals it. And then another head comes in, and like Paul cuts it off. This happens for I think 2 to 3 times. You can see this happens. Once Elise gets hurt a little bit, and Roxy immediately comes and heals her. And then you can see like Talhan is running, and Talhan gets almost eaten, but Paul comes in and cuts off one of the heads, which helps Talhan. Roxy immediately goes and heals Talhan as well, and like this way, cutting off a few of the heads one after the other. But then something crazy happens. When does that happen? That part was crazy. The Hydra, that was smart. The part that it had sealed with the flame, the Hydra tries to chomp it off and take it out so that it can regenerate from the newer wound. That was insane. I was like, damn, I wouldn't have thought of that. Good God. And not only that, then the Hydra, and immediately they realize what they're doing. So, they try to use their flames to seal that part as well. And then when there's 3 heads left, the Hydra uses its breath. And Rudy's come behind me. And Rudy uses a water shield, and it takes the damage for a long time, and protects everyone from the breath. And then immediately after that, they go on and cut off the other head, seal it with fire again, and and then when there's I think when there's 1 head left, Rudy's oh, we can do it, No, when there's 2 head left, I think, or was it 1 head? No, when there was 1 head left, Rudy kind of lowers his guard a little bit because he was oh, 1 more head left, and Paul comes and pushes him, and it was okay. That at that time everything was okay as well, Paul saves him, everything was fine. But then what happens is when Rudy gets up, that is when the Hydra tries to strike Rudy again. And this is where the whole thing happens. Paul comes and kicks Rudy away, and the Hydra comes and just gets Paul. And you can see from that point onwards, they don't show Paul at all. And I knew Paul was injured, but in the end of that scene, I wasn't expecting his whole body to just get separated. I wasn't expecting that though. Obviously I was he's probably dead. He's probably injured or something, maybe he's missing 1 hand or something. I didn't expect his whole lower part is gone completely. That I wasn't expecting. And he will be that way, he will be sprawled on the ground. Not even on the ground. He was just on a slanting rock. He was just there, as if someone smacked you away and you just went and crushed into that place, and you're just laying there lifelessly. That's why I'm saying it felt too real. This episode felt too real. Usually in these type of things, I feel how this would go is even if someone decides to show someone completely missing their lower half, they would probably show him on the ground, plain flat, lying, with half of his body gone. But like I said, they didn't do that. They showed how Paul was just sprawled on the ground, but wasn't really flat on the ground, but on a slanting slope like that, upside down. That is why it felt so real. It seemed as if he literally got flung out there and just smacked on the ground and that just there. You know, this episode didn't feel like an episode. It felt too real. It felt like all these things were happening. And like I said, like the battle was done fantastically. I really felt as if the Hydra is going to just eat them. It was really dangerous. The danger, you can feel it through the screen. You know, like once the Hydra comes and attacks you, the way everyone was just scurrying around, jumping around for their life, you know, and Roxy continuously running around healing everyone, that was too real, you know. And I feel like that probably makes this episode, the fighting, like one of the best. It felt too real. At least that's what I think. Either way, that happened, and then Rudy gets up and sees the Hydra's literally in front of him, and Rudy like gets his hand inside like in the Hydra's eyes, and you know, like the Hydra like starts like, you know, like moving around, and Rudy loses his hand, falls down, and taking that opportunity, Roxy uses her flame to take out the final head as well. So Rudy's on the ground. He uses his healing to heal at least a little bit of his hand. I think he's like missing full hand, but he healed at least, I think, like up until his elbow or something. He probably healed, and he's like, okay, I cannot get the rest of it back. But then he's like, it's fine, you know, losing one hand against a Hydra, it's okay. But then he gets up and he's like, everything's okay, like, you know, we saved them, you know, like, and he's like, thanks, Dad, you know, like, you saved me. And then he realizes that Paul's not there. He's like, wait, what happened? And he sees that everyone's looking in a certain direction, and Rudy looks there and sees Paul just there on the ground. And like I said, he's not really on the ground flat, he's just there in a slanting position. And you can see that basically what happened was his body got flung, it hit like the upper part, and he slid down like this, and the whole blood is like this, sliding down. That's why I'm saying it's too real. It feels too real. It feels like it actually happened. They could have easily like let Paul on the ground, just flat on the ground or something. That wouldn't have felt the same how it felt as we are seeing him on the ground in a slanting way, and the blood just dripping. It wouldn't have been the same. This felt too raw, you know. And yeah, that's it. No, like, you know, like nothing. He's just there. He kind of opens his eyes a little bit, moves his mouth a little bit, kind of smiles a very faint, because he realized that they have been able to save Zenith, and the blood flows downwards, and that's it, you know. So no last words, nothing, none of that stuff. Is too real, and that is it. It's over. And automatically Zenith's crystal breaks, she falls down. Yeah, and throughout the whole journey you can see Rudy doesn't say anything, you know, like they carry back Zenith, and you can say there's no sound as well, I think. Yeah, them just walking, their footsteps, and there's no sound, nobody speaking. And you can see this part as well. They come to their, you know, like their place. Like, you know, Lilia comes in and they're like, oh, like, you know, you guys are safe, everyone's happy, sees Zenith, and they're like, oh wow. And you can still see there's no sound here, you know. Obviously they were talking, but it was from Rudy's perspective. He couldn't hear anything. He was so shocked about the whole situation. No word was coming in his ears, only the footsteps and all that stuff. Everyone was speaking, nothing was coming in his head. That's why there was no one speaking, I think, in this place. And you can see, you can pretty much realize from their expressions what type of conversation they're having. Like, you know, they come in, at first you can see Lilia and everyone's like smiling, and they're like, oh, thank God, Zenith. Like, they like grab Zenith and hug Zenith, and then you can see they're smiling, and then there's suddenly their like eyebrows kind of like, you know, like contracts, and they're like, what's going on, you know, where's Paul, you know. And then you can see everyone talking something, telling them something, and then you can see their face fall completely. You know, that girl fall down on the ground crying, Lilia just completely shocked, standing there, you know. And then you can see Lilia comes and hugs Rudy, and this is the first time you can hear words, you know, because Lilia's, like, you know, told Rudy that it's fine, you know, like, don't worry about, you know, like let me take care of this, you know, you go and have your rest. That's the only word you can see that probably goes into Rudy's ears, because all the other conversation you can see none of it was registering in Rudy's head. When Lilia comes and hugs him and tells him that, like, you're tired, go and rest, I'll take care of everything. That's the only thing that gets into his head. He goes to his head, room, lies down. Yeah, and then we can see a little bit of a flashback, where not flashback but a recollection, where they burned Paul over there only, and Rudy was just there. And when Rudy, after the whole thing, we tried to take one, I'm guessing probably get some of the ashes or something, or the bone, and it kind of crumbled in his hands, and it kind of hit him hard that it's over, like Paul is gone. And yeah, and the next day you can see Zenith is asleep. Rudy and Lilia is there, and Rudy's just there sitting. Lilia's like, I don't know what's going to happen. She's not woken up. Maybe this is going to continue. But then as soon as she says it, Zenith wakes up, and everyone's like, oh my god, yes, Zenith is awake. And you can see Rudy kind of smiling, like a little bit of the color comes back to his face, and he's like, Mom. And Zenith is like, and this part I was like, wait, the way she's acting, it seems like she forgot everything. But then I realized it's even worse than that. It's not as if she forgot everything. Her mental age probably regressed to a child or something, because that's what it seems like in the end. Lilia's like, my lady, it's Master Rudius. And she looks at Lilia, and she's like, okay, wait a minute. Yeah, she's like, she kind of makes a noise as if like a little baby makes noise. So, like I said, it's either she lost her voice, she cannot speak, or her mental age regressed. I'm betting on the fact that her mental age regressed. This is not just losing her ability to speak. You can just look at her face. You can realize that if she just lost her ability to speak, her expression would have been different. Her expression would have been like happy that she saw Rudy, but she would realize that she cannot speak, and it would be something different completely. You can see her expression, and you can see her face is so calm and collected, and she's just making noises. So by this, I can probably say that her mental age regressed. This is not a simple cannot speak type of situation. Her mental age regressed, and that's what's happening. She's probably mentally, she's probably a 2-year-old kid, 1 year, no, not 2 years, sorry, a 1-year-old kid or something, or maybe like a 6-month-old kid. That's what's going on. I might be completely wrong though, who knows? But that is what I think, at least from looking at it, because if she just lost her ability to speak, her expression would have been different. But her expression, you see her expression here, you can see it's an expression of a kid who is in wonder looking at the outside world, or something like that. And yeah, and Rudy now, the little bit of color that came back to his face, it's all gone now after realizing what's going on. And that is where it ended. So yeah, this episode was crazy. And yeah, more mental trauma, I guess, on Rudy. Right? So yeah, there you go. That is it. That was my reaction to this episode 22 of season 2 of Mushoku Tensei. 2 more episodes after this. I don't know what's going to happen now. 2 more episodes, I'm guessing they're going to go back, and then what? Let's see. So yeah, thanks for watching. If you guys enjoyed this video, be sure to press the like button, subscribe if you're new to the channel, or you haven't subscribed. Comment down below anything you want to say, anything you want to let me know. I'll check them out. And that is it, guys. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next week with another episode of Mushoku Tensei. Until then, goodbye and have a nice day.